Fear the Walking Dead Episode 2. So close, yet so far. Definitely an amazing step up from the last episode because things really go crazy in this one. Like, we had the initial beginnings in the last episode. The second half of the first episode was really cool because things were starting to get really weird with school being let out early. And, of course, the end of the episode was the first real zombie interaction, with the main characters. And then this episode, we got to see it again. We got to see one of our main characters actually fight against the zombie. It wasn't like, just run them over, with the safety of a car. They had to use a weapon to save someone else. We got to see, just riots in the streets. We got to see, I guess, two zombies killed in this episode because that female cop, she actually killed one too. And they weren't messing around. Like, the cops don't know what's happening. They know enough because we got to see the other guy just stocking his car full of water. So we got to see there are people that obviously have the right idea. Like, things are going crazy. Their neighbor, who unfortunately ended up just attacking their other neighbor by the end of the episode, which we all saw coming. I didn't think he'd end up turning into a zombie by the end of the night, which surprised me. But as soon as he caught it, he's just like in slow motion and he waves. I'm like, well, he's dead. Like, he's got the right idea. He's dead. It doesn't matter what his idea is now. He's dead. So, we get to see that at the end, and things just really go downhill in this episode, which is good because it leads to some of the mass hysteria that, the preview for the next episode, which unfortunately is in 2 weeks, which really sucks, especially with this it's already only like 8 episodes long. It kind of sucks that we already have like a break in between, but it's going to be a really cool episode coming back because it's going to be the night of the riots. Based on the trailer, someone sets fire to the place next to the barbershop, and so they have to leave because it's falling apart around them, and it's in flames and on fire. Couldn't get that out, but I did enjoy this one because we got to see a lot of great moments from these characters. We got the beginning of the episode. We do unfortunately find out that Madison's boyfriend is basically gonna die. He's not dead yet like I thought. Like, I figured he's already a zombie. That's what I was thinking initially. But he was bit at some point, and so he's sick in the beginning of this episode, which is unfortunate. It's like he's done for. Like, it was kind of obvious, but it was a little bit different. It wasn't like she saw him and he was automatically a zombie. It was a really good moment. I really enjoyed it for the beginning of the episode. It's something that was very emotional. It was a nice contrast to the end of the first episode because that was like they're dealing with a zombie, but it's just them dealing with the zombie that's trying to eat them. And so they take it out and it's like adrenaline fueled type of scene. And this was much more somber where he was bitten, but he wasn't a zombie yet. He was just really sick, and they knew what was gonna happen, but Madison didn't really understand, and she didn't find out really until the end of this episode. She was kind of the one left out of the loop while her family around her, like her parents and her brother, like stuff is happening like you don't really understand, and no one was really explaining to her this is what's really going on. She was just kind of in this weird situation without any information. So I love that opening scene. It was pretty sad, but it was a really good opening scene where it was emotional, and she's like, we should, I want to stay here with him because, she loved her boyfriend, and it's like, we have to leave. Like, we have to leave him because there's nothing we can do, and he knew that, and I kind of like that scene, when he's hugging her, and he just looks at them, and they take her, and it's like, thank you, because you understand you're not going to make it, and we have to get her out of here. So it was a great opening scene that I really enjoyed. It was the first. I feel like it was really the first emotional zombie moment, and even the moment inside the school was less emotional because that was once again, even though both those characters, it was like you have the principal going up against. I guess he was a teacher or assistant principal. Maybe that's probably what he was. So you have like these two people who of course knew each other from work, and then one of the students who, of course, the principal and assistant principal at your school. But that was definitely more of an adrenaline-filled moment. It was like he's already gone, and he reached the point where he's just a zombie, and it was like they just have to take him out. But it was a very cool scene. I thought there were going to be multiple zombies with the alarm going off. I was thinking it was just like going off because more and more zombies were like walking through or something like that, but And that could have been it, because technically we don't know what happened. Like, they took off and they didn't go in the direction of the alarm, which is very smart. Um, so it could have been either just actual people or it could have been zombies. I would assume it's actual people because there's more people than zombies right now. But it was a really good scene as well. Like, she, stood up on her own. I can't think of her name. I just call her Mrs. C because the kid said it like 15 times in the episode. So that's all that's in my head. But that was really cool. Like, it was a nice moment for her character, and then she really dealt with it at the end when she kind of just broke down after she went in her room. Like, she got the news like her daughter tried to leave and stuff, and I thought she would talk to her, and I thought, oh, it's weird that she just like walked past her, and then it was like she went in her room and she instantly broke down crying. I was like, well, that makes sense that she didn't give a crap about her daughter leaving because she had to bash her friend's head in to save this kid, and that's just not something that comes naturally to people. So it was kind of cool how they did that, and she might talk to her about trying to leave the house in the next episode, but it was just a really good moment. Then she has to stop her daughter from running across the street because she doesn't want her to get eaten, and the woman seemed like she escaped, so that's good. She could have easily have been scratched though, because they haven't really gotten into that, but whether it's a bite or a scratch, that's pretty much it. It's said and done there. So we might get sort of an answer to that because we couldn't really see what was happening. He was on top of her, but she was able to fight him off and escape. But like I said, that's an easy way to get scratched. But we'll just have to see in the next episode. And we got like I said, the riot and stuff. That was actually really interesting. I kind of like that idea where it's like a protest and people fighting for their rights and freedom of speech and stuff. And it's like the cops saying like, you can't have this camera and stuff, and it was a very real thing, and it was like, oh, that's kind of speaks to what is actually happening in the country, and I thought that was actually a really cool moment with people just banding together and stuff, and his son, and I can't think of any of the characters' names, but like Travis's son, I can remember Travis, he's like, I'm a part of this, and I have to stay here and stuff, and it was just really cool. And then of course things go crazy once that other zombie comes out of nowhere. She's just a zombie, and then of course more shots fired. You got the riot, police coming in with the shields, and everything just goes insane. And then people are just pushing cars, kicking over mailboxes, and all sorts of craziness. And it was good to see that because it's interesting that it really started. It's zombies that started it, but people don't realize that. They think the cops just shot up like this homeless guy for no reason, and that starts just a natural riot about like, oh, it's the government being crappy and this and that. And then it's like, who knows, maybe the next week or so, within the next 7 days, people are going to be like, that probably wasn't as bad as we were thinking. They probably saved more people than we could really imagine just from this one zombie and them, shooting it up. But I thought it was great that the riot started because of something that's typical. It's very modern and real. And then when people realize what the cause is, it's gonna be like, crap, we were wrong. But zombies are the reason for this riot. So I'm excited to see how the next episode plays out and just all the madness. Because zombies, I mean, it's like a 100% increase, I think, in this episode. I guess it's about the same technically, because in the first episode we had the zombie in the very beginning, the zombie that the cop shot up, and then the zombie at the end of the episode. So I guess technically it's the same because they had the zombie at the end, they had the assistant principal, and I guess they had 4 zombies, and you could kind of say they have 5 if you count Madison's boyfriend at the beginning. But they're definitely popping up way more than they were in the last episode. It was like, oh, stuff's kind of happening, and here's some new stuff, and of course, what Nick saw in the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the first episode. But this one, it's just kind of natural now. Like, it's already to the point where it's just public places too. Like, who knows if that female zombie, she didn't have any blood on her, but she came from somewhere, and that means she had to have been bit somehow. So she could have easily bit someone else or, like I said, scratched somebody else. So they're kind of just multiplying like crazy. And I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out in the next episode with this riot taking place overnight. tons of people are going to be infected. Even in the trailer alone, they already have a zombie or just a really drugged out person. If that's not a zombie, then I have no idea who it is. But, they already have a zombie in the trailer. They're going to have other people, in this mass riot. People are just going to be tripping and falling over each other. And you're just going to be, shaking a van or something. Next thing you know, here comes a zombie, bites your arm. Now you're infected. And it's a riot. People are just not paying attention to the little things. And that's, I think, going to be like the main trigger to spread the virus. At least in the span of this one day, obviously. Even after the riot is going to be insane. But this riot's going to just multiply all the issues they're already having. So I'm really excited to see how much of the mayhem we really get from this riot. Because, like I said, people are going to miss all the little moments. And that's how we're going to get a lot more zombies. So I'm excited for that, of course. I want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I definitely want to know what you guys thought about things really stepping up in this episode. We got pretty much all the characters had some pretty cool moments. Nick, I wouldn't say had a cool moment, but he definitely had an important moment for this episode. But everyone did something that was a pretty big deal. Like, they either experienced something or saw something that seriously mattered for their characters and for where they're going to be going, dealing with the zombie apocalypse. So I want to know what you guys thought about some of their moments and some of your real favorite character moments, not just favorite moments of the episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.